Scott, thank you for joining us. Fleetwood are the visitors this weekend. We're back at home. What are your thoughts heading into that one?
I think the biggest thing is obviously looking for a positive reaction and a positive response from what we saw on the last weekend. Obviously, we all know that wasn't acceptable. So the reaction that I'm looking for within the players is that of a real positive one, and it's an opportunity for us to do that. We're at home. The last two games at home have been really good games. Obviously Bristol Rovers, where we win 4-0. Positive performance, positive result. Obviously score some goals as well. And then of course a Walsall game where we don't get all 3 points, but we get a good point against the team who are top of the league, and you could argue whether that was our best performance of the season or not. So of late at home we've been good. We're happy we're at home. I think the fans have kind of added to that as well. I think the fans have been great. When we've been at home, and kind of helped us get them 4 points, and hopefully we see a performance that encourages the fans, and we get encouraged by the fans, and it's a collective effort to go and win the game on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm sure there was some obviously real honest conversations after the game on Saturday. What's the reaction been like from the squad as a whole?
Yeah, it's always good. It's never negative after there's been some honest conversations. You always get a good reaction, but that doesn't matter, because I've seen that all season where we train so well. It's about what we do on Saturday, and that's the biggest thing for me. I don't care really how the reaction's been in training. It doesn't. We're at the stage now where I actually hope, that we don't train well and play well. Do you know what I mean? That's where I'm at the moment with it. I want to see some real character in the team on Saturday, some real energy. I think that's important, and some real character. We are where we are, and only us can get it out. Get us out of that mess that we're in. So we've got to make sure that we show a fighting spirit, a character, a want, will, and determination to beat the team that are trying to beat us, and that's what we've got to do. Saturday, we did not see that. I didn't see one moment of that. That's not acceptable. My teams don't play like that. My teams play with character. My teams play with an element of aggression and an element of determination to win a game. And we are, at the moment, we're not seeing enough of that. And that's what I'm looking for on Saturday.
Is that something you can coach, character, or is that something that you just have to sort of pull out of the players?
I think it's something that we have to make sure that we do a lot of due diligence when signing players, for sure. I think that's really important that we do that. Having said that, this group is a good group. We in terms of character, I think that we're probably not where we believed we should be or where we thought we would be, but we are. And then that's when you see whether that character is strong enough to get us out of it. So, moving forward, we'll be assessing the players as we go, but we certainly need to really show up now and roll our sleeves up and show that determination to win a game of football.
Yeah, you touched on it already, but how important can a home crowd be on, when we're looking to winning ways?
I think it's the biggest thing for me. I think that's probably, the fans have been unbelievable since I've been here. They've been class, and I think that's probably the hardest thing for me in my job is to disappoint people, weekend at the weekend, and I'm desperate. I'm desperate to give the fans something to sing and cheer about, and we want that. We want that connection back to what I know it can be. I really want that, but of course I understand that it can't be a connection if we're not playing very well on the pitch and the fans are not happy. It goes hand in hand. We've got to perform. We've got to perform. We've got to give them something, and at the moment we haven't done that enough times. I think there's been times when we've performed well enough, but we've not given them the results. And we've got to give them that, and I think listen, at home it's always good playing here. I've always found it, better playing at home than away from home, and of course the fans are class when we do, and they certainly helped us in the last two fixtures at home. I know we didn't get maximum points in the Walsall game, but we got 4 points out of the last two at home, and they certainly helped towards that, and we've got to do that again. You know what I mean? Everyone's got to get on board and support the team, and we've got we've got to perform in order for that support to come thick and fast.
Yeah, we've spoken about the luxury of being able to pick the same team. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do it this week with Ryan off suspension. So does that bring you a fresh chance?
I wouldn't be picking the same team.
Yeah,
anyway, whether Ryan Loft's suspended or not, I wouldn't be picking the same team. So, there's been a lot of thinking about what I need to do this weekend, and it's really clear in my mind now.
Perfect. Brilliant.
What sort of side can you expect? What sort of football can you expect from Fleetwood this week?
Well, Pete Wiles, a manager that I've come across many times, and they're always tough games. Pete's a good manager. He's very organised. His teams are always very organised. They're a real handful at the top of the pitch. A real handful. Two big forwards who are, Chris Packett blew across the pitch, they'd chase it. They're really game, and they're up for a fight. And in the middle of the pitch, they're up for a fight as well. So we know it's going to be tough. We do feel that defensively they've let a lot of goals in. Defensively they're capable of turning chances into goals. So we've just got to make sure we create and hopefully we score some goals. But we know it's going to be tough because we know what his sides kind of bring. And we know it's going to be a tough game. But like I say, I think certainly with last Saturday's game and how we performed, I'm looking for us to react and us to play well, forget what the opposition bring. If we do what we do and we do it really well and we work hard and we get our numbers up, then we'll be fine. But we've got to do it. And I don't really care what the opposition bring. We've got to make sure that we do our jobs really, really well. And if we do that, we'll be okay.
And any update on any of the injuries you've had recently?
I was looking at the list today. There's actually too many on there at the moment.
Right.
There is too many on there. Obviously, Cashman, Jay Williams is kind of getting some testing done today, so we'll know a bit more this afternoon about whether he's going to be available for the weekend. McCurdy, even though he's been suspended, he's obviously picked up a knock as well in training, so he's a potential doubt for the weekend. We have a couple of bumps and bruises from Saturday as well to add. So we're unsure on at least one player. So at the moment, we're a little bit skinnier than we probably was this time last week.
And when you played Aston Villa in the Virtue Trophy, you said you picked your team before sort of the Saturday game. You've obviously got Peterborough Tuesday night. Have you got two sides already picked, or is it because of that injury list you can't?
No, I haven't picked my team, is the answer to the question yet. Yes, that's a big factor, is the injury list. And really speaking, the other factor is the fact that because we was so poor last week that I've really focused hard on this game and not kind of look too far beyond that.
Yeah, I understand.
Based on the fact that we need to get this right Saturday, and I've worked extremely hard this week, and I think that's what I want. I want to see a reaction from the players where, when things are going bad and we're kind of in the trenches a little bit, that's when I want to see people work even harder. Do you know what I mean? And I've certainly, I'm not sure I can work any harder than I do already, but I've really focused this week solely on that game, and I want the players to really attack this game like it's a cup final, because I think it is at this stage.
Yeah, and on a positive note, the club put out their October Player of the Month's nominees, and I think it was Jojo, Max and Scott Malone. They were three players who didn't really get a lot of football in the first couple of months. What does that say about the strength in your squad, do you think?
Yeah, I think all three have been amazing, got to be honest with you. I think Max Anderson, for me, performed so well at Leyton Orient and has not looked back since. He's been arguably our best player. Scott Malone, it's just a brilliant professional to have around the place. His positivity, his professionalism's class. His work ethic's different class. His running data is through the roof. You wouldn't think he is at the end of his career. I'm not saying he is, by the way.
No.
Sorry, Scott. But he certainly isn't, and his numbers are always really good. And, I'm showing clips on Monday morning in the debrief where he's running past 4 or 5 players to press the ball, or 4 or 5 players to recover the ball. and that's what I want. I want more players like that, and Scott's been class. And of course, Jojo's come in. We know what Jojo's capable of anyway from his time here, and I don't think Harvey's done loads wrong in the games that he's played, but unfortunately he got an injury, and Jojo's come in and been absolutely sound, and I think it'd be harsh for me to make a decision to change that at the moment. I think Jojo's performed really well. There was a couple of iffy moments on Saturday that I felt he could have done better, but in the whole I think he's been good.
Yeah, and I saw an interview Rafted with the BBC, and one of the things he said, he was 100%, we will deepen the squad in the January transfer window. Have those conversations sort of started? Have you identified players and positions you want to strengthen?
Yes, we have. Yeah, we've had conversations. We've had long meetings. So yeah, them conversations have started. They started probably weeks ago, if the truth be known. And I think that it's clear in our minds what we need to do and how we need to do it. So we just got to make sure that we try and pick up as many points between now and January before we do strengthen. So puts us in a better position.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Scott. Good luck Saturday.
Thank you.